Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life and Drawing Podcast. This is episode number 39, closely approaching 40, or I should say 40, but it's episode 39. Should have started the timer. Let's do that. There we go. All right, in this episode, topic is before you marry, before you get married, before you tie the knot, and all other synonyms of before getting married. So before you marry, what can I possibly talk about? And what I can talk about is just preparation before you marry. And this is not so much like if you are dating someone, because this is well before that. You know, before you're actually courting someone, you've been dating for a year or however long, and you want to propose and stuff like that. So this is all before that. And granted, this information is really not just exclusively for preparation before you get married. I mean, it's just life. So the first thing is get a job. I think for this, for these points, which I'm presenting them in a somewhat nonchalant type of way, and it's not meant to be that way. I just simply want to make it light, but at the same time still convey a certain level of gravitas. And so when I say get a job, obviously, you want to have a job before you say, hey, you know what, I want to get married, and, so you want to be, okay, yeah, you want to have something stable. So you want to be working, you want to, hey, whether you are working for someone else or you want to pursue a entrepreneurial endeavor, whatever it is, do it. Because this is the time, right? While you're single, that's the time to explore different work possibilities. This is the time to, if you're like, I'm not feeling this particular job, man, this is the time to be, well, then I just gotta quit, look for something else. This will be the optimum time to do that, because you don't have any direct responsibilities. All right, especially if you're still living at home, you're young, you're still living at home, then you don't. Now, of course, if you're living on your own, then that's going to come with a certain level of another type of responsibility of, making sure that, your bills are covered. Yeah, because you don't want to go quitting and you have bills that need to be paid. So, I'm sorry, I don't know, all of a sudden I start talking and there's a bunch of phlegm. Yeah, never fails. Just my luck. But basically, get a job, right? That's important. Need a job, get a job. And second thing, after getting a job, start saving money. because marriage requires money. Yes, love is cool, and love will get you through, but you need money. You need money as well. So, because you don't want to strain your love. You don't want to put your love under unnecessary duress. And so, because relationships are challenging enough on their own, and any way that you can minimize the obstacles and the stress, you wanna do that. So start saving. And start saving, and don't start saving for a extravagant wedding, because then that becomes pointless to a degree. And and this is coming from someone who is married, someone who got a lot of breaks for our marriage ceremony. It was held at our church, and so we didn't have to pay for the reception space. We used the church's auditorium. And since we were members, we didn't have to pay anything for it at all. Our senior pastor officiated. I think we did like co-officiation, because my wife's senior pastor, whose church supported us in part while we were, because I was working full time, she's working as a missionary. It's all complicated. Story for another time. All that to say, we had breaks. You know, we had folks who we worked with that did like catering. So we had a lady who was a cook, and she did so we had breaks. You know what I mean? We still had expenses. Some of those were covered by our parents, you know, and so so we were blessed and very fortunate. And so where I was going. Yes. So saving, to save and then say, you know what, man, I saved up 40,000, and yeah, I want to put that towards the wedding. And it's like, why? Like that's one, you know, that's so what's the word I'm looking for? Anti-productive. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But counterproductive, yes. Because you saved. I mean, you saved, and no telling what you had to do to save. You know, did you? First part was get a job. Did you work like 2 jobs? Right. So you sacrifice time, your body, energy, to save that amount of money, and then to turn around and just spend it all on a wedding ceremony just doesn't make any sense, you know? So let's say, okay, let's just go with that figure. You worked, you got a job, you had several jobs, now you saved $40,000. That's a great nest egg. Now some people are like, oh no, well you want to start off with $100K, or, you know, that's all relative. It all depends on when you started working, the time between you started working, you saving money, to you meeting someone. Because you could have someone in mind that, hey, you know what, we're dating, we're not real serious, but I want to get serious, so I'm going to start saving. Or you're like, you know what, I do want to get married, so I'm single now, I'm going to save. So when I meet that right person, I know that, hey, this is the person for me, and they equally believe that I am the person for them, bam. Whatever the scenario is, they're numerous. The bottom line is, hey, you saved up a certain amount of money, and let's just say it's 40K. So you've saved up 40,000. I would honestly say, if you want to say, you know what, how can we do a wedding ceremony for 5,000? That's something, man, that's so cheap. Why are you being so cheap? What about half? And then think about it. Okay, you spend half, 20,000 on the wedding ceremony, and now who knows what money you're gonna spend on engagement rings, right? Where you gonna go on your honeymoon? Because that's not all included. Where you gonna stay? You know, are you going into an apartment? You saved that much? Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to be able to put down a deposit on that home? Do you guys have two separate vehicles, or is it just one vehicle? And so now you're gonna have to purchase another vehicle because both of you are working, right? So you got to think about all those. So you think of, oh wow, okay, half, that's 20K. Now you're left with another 20K. How are you going to balance that out, right? And take it from me. And hopefully you have a partner. If you're a guy, speaking from a guy's point of view, hopefully you have a partner who, because you know it's for the wife, it's for the ladies, it's their special day. So you want to be sensitive. So you don't want to do anything that's gonna that will, in their minds, diminish that day. Because for most ladies, that's a special day. You know, it's a day where, and it's not because it's a day mainly focused upon them, but it's a day where they're adorned. You know, they're presented, you know, as the love of your life, and you know, your family there and all. You know, it's a special moment for the bride, and so, I mean, it's equally special for the groom as well. Yeah, I don't know. I just think culturally, it's made of that. Hey, man, this is the bride's special moment, you know, and so yeah. So you want to think about that, and hopefully, you know, your future bride will be understanding of, okay, well, if we can work it where we spend 5,000 on the wedding ceremony from a balance of 40K, now we have 35,000. So now that money can go towards, okay, we can put money aside for a down payment. If we need another vehicle, we can put money aside for a down payment or a purchasing of a used vehicle that's in great condition. However, and then we still have money if we want to go, when we go on a honeymoon, we have money for that. We have money for expenses. And when we get home, there's a balance of money left where you can cover bills and other future expenses. We're not even talking about yet putting money aside as far as investment. Sorry, I wasn't drawing. I was just like talking, my bad. And so you want to keep all those things in consideration before you get married, when you're saving, and that's why you want to save. And that's why you want to not just save, but money you save, you allocate it accordingly. So ultimately, your saving wasn't done in vain. So, and then third thing, save some more. initially I wrote that in. I was like, oh, that'll be like a little tongue-in-cheek um, joke, and it is to some degree. Um, it's almost like putting in golf, and it's so true. Most times when you have a putt, and for those who don't play golf, this is gonna be like a foreign language to you. But those who do, um, you'll understand. So when putting on a green in golf, and let's say it's a break, and a break means the ball is not gonna. If you hit the ball straight at the hole, it's not a straight putt. It's not gonna go into the hole. But if the putt is a putt that has an angle, which means you gotta hit it 4 inches to the right of the hole or the left of the hole, that's called a break. So in golf, it's usually there's a saying of play an extra inch. Whatever you think it's breaking, double it, or play an extra amount of break. So you think it's gonna break 3 inches to the right, you know, go 4 inches or five, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because whatever you think it is, or whatever your eye is telling you that, hey, I think it's that, it's going to usually be a little bit more. And that is so true. So you save, you're like, you know what, I have 40K. Hey, if you could save more, then save more. All right. It's not going to hurt. It's going to be to both you and your future spouse's benefit. But that's not the real point. That was a funny point. But the real point is know who you are. You know, you want to be comfortable with who you are, just as a person. You want your identity to be secured in just your interests, what you like to do, because you want to get lost in the relationship. You want to have your own self identity, and because you and your spouse can build upon creating a relationship identity that you guys share with, and you and that could be you do things together, and you grow in that sense where you have mutual interests, or you share a particular interest, and that's great. So you want to have that. You just want to have your own identity, so you don't get completely wrapped up in, oh, I'm marrying this person, and this is going to be my identity. You don't want to do that, because then you're going to get lost. And I'm not even coming to like divorce or anything like that. You're going to get lost. And what I mean by lost is, let's say if the person, your spouse, is not around, then what are you gonna do? Oh, we watch this show together, or we do this together. But if for whatever reason they have to be out of town, then what do? You're gonna feel like, man, what do I do? I always hung out with my husband, or I was hung out with my wife, and ultimately that's a very good thing. You wanna, I mean, in every relationship, my mantra was always start out as a friend, in any relationship, because that's a solid foundation to have, which helps you carry through difficult times, and there will be difficult times. So that's going to happen. But you want to have your own character, your own personality. You want to foster a good self-image of yourself, and it's just healthy. That way, you won't present yourself as parasitic or just completely dependent upon the other person, because that in itself can be a burden on that person, your spouse as well. If they're like, if I'm not around, man, I have to, I have to be everything to this person, and none of us can be that. Even if we want to, we can't be that. That's not something that's sustainable, and in my opinion, I don't think it's something that's healthy as well, because we're all going to fail, and we're going to fail ourselves, we're going to fail others, and we should be in a position where, if that happens, not if, when that happens, we're not held accountable to not maintaining a perfect relationship. So there you go. I really wanted to finish this, but I won't have time to. And so yeah, man. So before you marry, make sure you have a job. Excuse me. Make sure you have a job. And when you get that job, make sure you are saving. You are saving a lot. And save more as you're saving. And then lastly, make sure you develop a healthy self-image. And although I said, it's healthy for you to do that, it's also healthy for your partner as well. And because if you have a good, healthy perspective on life, that's not only going to be a benefit to your partner, to you, but ultimately it's going to be a benefit to your partner as well. And you may not see it in the beginning, but trust me, you will as time as time goes on. So for whatever reason, man, I'm losing my voice. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks so much for watching again. Be sure to support the channel by subscribing. Hit the notification button if you want to. You don't have to, but definitely hit the like button. I would say hit the dislike button, but that's not going to register how many people dislike. So just hit the like button. Be sure to follow me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michelot Comics. You can also go to my website, which is michelolully.com. You can support what I do at Patreon, and at Patreon you can support at $1. $1 will get you all of my uploads as far as my work are concerned. Now, certain behind the scenes or higher tier levels, but as far as the uploaded comic strips and stuff like that, $1 will get you access to, I want to say, 85 to 90% of my content. So so there's great value, even with starting at $1. My little one is awake. So also you can go to my Instagram, which is @MishLowLully. What else? I feel I'm missing something. I think that is everything. I have to run. I would finish this, but well, it's mostly there. But there's certain touches I want to do, but at last I cannot do. Got a little one, and the little ones are important, and that's why you want to make sure you save. If you can save, you save more, because then when little ones come along, they are indeed a heavenly blessing, and with that blessing comes responsibilities, and you want to be prepared to meet those responsibilities. And so so get a job, save more, and make sure you are self-secured before you get married. And on that screaming babies note, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, night. Grace and peace.